Most people think vitamin D is just a pill we take to keep our bones strong. But what if I tell you that vitamin D is not even a vitamin? It is a steroid hormone. So if I say that vitamins are like spark plugs for your car, then vitamin D is the driver. It enters your cells, goes directly to your DNA, and literally instructs your genes what to do. From your immune system to your brain chemistry, it is the master key to your biology. But sadly, its deficiency rates are surprisingly high. Estimates suggest anywhere from 20 to 40% of people in developed countries have insufficient levels, depending on region and time of the year, of course. So today we will be discussing this steroid hormone, also known as vitamin D, in detail. Let us follow vitamin D on its journey through our body. This journey starts in our skin. When sunlight hits our skin, it triggers a reaction that creates something called as pre-vitamin D3. But the journey isn't over. Our liver processes this pre-vitamin D3 into a form which is called as calcidiol. Now, it is this calcidiol that doctors measure when they test our blood. Finally, our kidneys convert calcidiol to calcitriol. This is the active working form of the hormone. This is why liver or kidney issues often lead to vitamin D deficiency. Like we say, the assembly line is broken, so it doesn't matter how much sun we get. What does vitamin D or the hormone actually do? Vitamin D works as a calcium taxi. We can eat all the calcium we want, but without vitamin D, our bodies cannot absorb it properly. Vitamin D is like the taxi that carries calcium from our food into our bloodstream. Our immune cells, they have special spots that grab onto vitamin D. It helps our immune system tell the difference between a dangerous virus and our own healthy cells. So, our immune system, thanks to vitamin D, knows what to attack and what to protect. Vitamin D can influence hundreds of genes in our body. So think of it like a dimmer switch. It can turn certain genes up and certain genes down, affecting everything from muscle strength to how our cells repair themselves. That's a whole lot of function for the body. Now you will ask me, if sun is free and we get vitamin D from sunlight, why are we in a global deficiency crisis? The response to this comes down to three main barriers: the latitude barrier, the glass barrier, and the melanin barrier. So if you live north of the 37th latitude, I hope you remember latitude, we studied it in our geography classes. So if you live north of 37th latitude, the sun's angle for half the year is too low. That is from October to March. The atmosphere is so thick, it filters out all the vitamin D producing rays. You could stand outside all day in a New York winter and produce zero vitamin D. Now, here in India, we might think we are safe because we have abundant sunshine throughout the year. But you would be surprised to know that the studies show that 70 to 80% of Indians are vitamin D deficient despite living in a sun-rich country. Why? Because we have adapted our lifestyle to avoid the sun, staying indoors during peak hours, using umbrellas, wearing full coverage clothing, and applying sunscreen heavily. Our practices of sun avoidance, while protecting us from heat and skin damage, have also created an unexpected deficiency crisis. Now let's talk about the glass barrier. Since we spend 90% of time indoors, and if we think that sitting by a sunny window might help, think again. Glass is like a filter trap. It blocks 100% of the beneficial UV rays that you need for vitamin D, but it lets the damaging UVA rays right through. So you are getting the skin aging radiation without the benefit of the UVB rays. And lastly, the melanin barrier. Melanin is a powerful UV filter. If you have a darker skin, your body is naturally protected from sun, which is definitely great for preventing cancer. But it means you need 3 to 5 times more exposure than someone with pale skin to produce same amount of vitamin D. Now, even if you overcome these 3 barriers, you have to get the timing right. And this is where most people get it wrong. Sunlight isn't just light. It is mix of rays, UVA, ultraviolet A and ultraviolet B. UVA, you can remember this A as aging. So UVA are long wave rays. They are out all day. They cause wrinkles and they damage our DNA. UVB, you can remember this as beneficial. So UVB are the short wave rays and these help in making vitamin D. Because UVB rays are weaker, they can only punch through the atmosphere when sun is directly overhead. And this creates the 10 to 2 rule. To maximize the vitamin D while minimizing DNA damage, you should try to be out between 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Why? Because that's when the ratio of good UVB to bad UVA is at its best. You only need what's called as a minimal erythemal dose. For some, that is 10 minutes. For others, it's 40. Once you hit that pink point, your body stops making vitamin D anyway. Any more time spent in the sun after that is pure damage with no reward. Here is the easiest way to decode your MED or minimal erythemal dose, which is called as the pink point test. Next time you are out in the midday sun, time yourself. Note how long it takes for your skin to get the tiniest bit of pink the next day. Not the same day, the next day. That is your 100% MED. Now, divide that by 4. So, for example, if your pink point is 40 minutes, your vitamin D dose is 10 minutes. 40 divided by 4. So, get your prescribed 10 minutes of unprotected midday sun first to charge your batteries, then move to shade or put on sunscreen for the rest of the day. You get the hormone, you skip the damage and prevent the risk of skin cancer. Fair skin. If you have fair skin, you might only need 8 to 10 minutes of sun. If you have dark skin, you might need 30 to 60 minutes to get same dose. Now let's talk about vitamin D deficiency. Vitamin D deficiency is sneaky because the symptoms are vague and very easy to miss. If you have deep bone pain or a nagging lower backache that won't go away, it might not be your posture. It might be your bones softening slightly. One unusual sign doctors look for is a sweaty forehead when the rest of your body is cool. It has been recognized as a deficiency marker for vitamin D for over a century now. This is called as the sweaty head. Vitamin D also helps your brain make serotonin, which is the feel-good chemical. Low vitamin D levels can contribute to feeling down, especially in darker months. And if you are the person who catches every cold going around the office, low vitamin D might be leaving your immune system underprepared. So, like I said, very vague, very sneaky symptoms. How much vitamin D do you need? Most experts suggest keeping your blood levels between 30 and 60 nanogram per ml, though optimal ranges are still debated. Now let's talk about some pro tips to fix your vitamin D deficiency. We just talked about how you can get vitamin D from sunlight in great detail. Now let's talk about how you can get vitamin D from your food and from the supplements. Fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, they are the best food sources for vitamin D. But if you are a vegetarian, here's a cool hack for you. You can buy regular mushrooms, flip them gill side up and leave them in direct sunlight for let's say 20 minutes. They will produce good amount of vitamin D that your body can use. And if you take a supplement, choose D3. Look for cholecalciferol on the label, not D2. And take it with a meal that has some fat in it. Vitamin D is a fat-soluble vitamin. Means it needs fat to be absorbed properly. So if you take it with food, you can double or triple how much of it your body actually uses. Our bodies cannot convert vitamin D into its active form without magnesium. So if you are low in magnesium, you could be taking vitamin D but not actually using it. And the influence of vitamin K2 on vitamin D is an emerging area of research. We very well know that vitamin D is required for the absorption of calcium from our food. But emerging research suggests that this calcium absorbed from food is helped by vitamin K2 to be directed towards bones instead of arteries. Now, if this calcium gets directed towards arteries, it can lead to hardening of the arteries, which is not desirable. So, many health practitioners now recommend taking K2 along with high dose of vitamin D3 just to be safe. For millions of years, humans lived under the sun. Our bodies were designed for it. Vitamin D is the bridge between sunlight and the deepest functions of our biology. It is literally how the environment talks to our genes. Thanks to our current lifestyle, we are deficient in vitamin D. But you don't have to guess, you don't have to wonder if you are one of the millions walking around deficient. Get tested. A simple blood test can tell you exactly where you stand. It costs less than a dinner out, and it might be the single most valuable piece of health information you discover this year. Because when you optimize your vitamin D, you are not just fixing one thing. You are supporting your bones, your immune system, mood, muscles, hundreds of processes all at once. Take action today. Get tested, get outside, and take control of one of the most fundamental aspects of your health. Do share it with people who you think might get benefited with this information. Stay healthy, stay happy, take care, bye-bye.